Hey, I'm Michael, Tenebrae on Wargamer AU. Welcome to the first instalment of my Judgement of Legends diary. Every year the Judgement Days run, so we're up to year 5 now. I've been to every Judgement Day, the first 4. Every year I've run some sort of Tyranid army. One year I did run a Genestealer cult using the Chaos Space Marine list, but it was still in essence a Tyranid army. Going to do NIDs again. I was tossing up between two themes, and when you see the next couple of videos, a little bit of stuff that's out of sync because this is the third time I've filmed this one because certain aspects just weren't working out properly. But there'll be some stuff that's out of sync because I've made my decision now. The two things I was going to go with, some of you will know I've done a Space Wolves diary recently based on the original Deathwing fluff from Space Hulk, so where the Dark Angels are based on Native American cultures. So I've been doing a lot on my own bases and things, doing some plains and foresty sort of stuff. So one of the ideas was to base this NID list on that Space Wolf army, so they'd go together, so as though Genestealers have come back and reinfested part of the planet. I was thinking somewhere in the forest they've probably done a deal with some of the hill tribes for secrecy. The hill tribes in the original story are seen as the shiftier tribes, more likely to go for demon worship and that sort of thing. Rather than doing that though, I decided to go with my other theme, which was to do basically classic Space Hulk. So a list based on the Space Hulk, a Genestealer infestation of the Space Hulk, would have some of the bigger creatures, and obviously the new NID Codex isn't out yet. We're not going to see it for, as of recording this, about 4 weeks. So I can't really make a decision yet as to what's going to be in the list, but it seems fairly solid in the rumours that Genestealers are still a troops choice, so I can still do a heavy Genestealer list. Who knows how effective they're going to be. I don't imagine that the same scuttler scouting tricky bullshit's going to still be in there, but who knows. And I'm also thinking from the rumours, just from what we've seen, that Tyranid warriors are probably going to be a lot more important than they were with the reduction, or what is rumoured to be the reduction in the power of synapse, where it's basically not going to do anything for the survivability of troops. It's probably going to be more important to have redundant synapse in the list. So I'm thinking that Tyranid warriors are probably going to be really important. Now in the Space Hulk background, it does imply, in fact fairly strongly implies, that over time Stealers will get bigger and become different organisms. So a Genestealer Patriarch in the original fluff is simply a pure strain Genestealer that has lived for a long time. It's ancient, it's become huge and become psychic. Kind of unclear whether that psychic ability requires a brood to be around for it to be as powerful as it is, but sort of beside the point thematically, since I'll be doing a Genestealer list. But what it does mean is that theoretically I can do some larger organisms and call them other creature types in the Tyranid list. So I'm thinking Tyranid warriors that are giant Genestealers or really big Genestealers, some sort of Patriarch guard, something like that. And obviously depending on how the list turns out, I can do a Genestealer Patriarch as a Hive Tyrant or something like that. Or as one of these new elite warriors that they're talking about that are going to be in the list, the Alpha Warriors. With some of the new stuff in the list as well, I'm probably going to want to put in some of the new units. Now Judgement Day is only a 750 point tournament, so there's not that many points to play with, and it does generally have, the guys haven't sorted it out for this year, but there are generally some unit restrictions, like only one heavy choice, or if you don't have something in a category you'll get some sort of penalty, stuff like that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to be able to field to fit in the theme. I'm thinking things like biovores obviously aren't going to fit in the theme of a Hulk infestation. Talking on theme, I'll be doing my own bases. I've had a request to do a basing tutorial for making and casting your own bases, which is something I did with the Space Wolf list. I'm quite happy to do that. Obviously bases for a Space Hulk list are going to be industrial flooring, that kind of thing. I'm thinking also, I've never done an army display board, and that's an opportunity to get into a bit of terrain making as well, sort of subtly on the side. So I'll probably do a display board for these guys, which obviously will have some sort of Hulk theme. What I'll probably do is do maybe a section of a crashed Hulk or something like that, so that I can retro it out after the tournament as a bit of terrain. With larger organisms, when I do warriors, I'm thinking, I'm not that great at sculpting yet, but it's something I'm really interested in at the moment. So I might try sculpting my own bodies and legs for Tyranid warriors to make basically giant Genestealers. The current warriors, as far as I know, the models aren't getting redone, so they're not really appropriate as large Genestealers. The heads aren't too bad, and I can probably just cut up some heads, some GW heads, and work with that, but the bodies simply don't look like Genestealers at all. They look like a totally different organism. So I'll probably be doing a bit of work with that. So that's basically the idea of what I'm going to do. A Space Hulk based gene cell list. I'm going to do the traditional purple and blue colour scheme that the original Space Hulk was in. Probably do a fairly dark version of it, since I like things to look dirty when I make my 40k armies. So I'll be doing my own bases, doing a display board, traditional blue and purple scheme, so at least I don't have to think about the colour scheme too much. What I'm going to try and do with the video diaries is actually show a lot of the progress of what I'm doing. So if I'm out somewhere painting, be a bit of footage of the painting stuff and some of the ideas that I use there. Now I'm not that great a painter, but I'm sure some people get some value out of what I'm doing. And when I do things like the basing tutorial and moulding, I'll film all that, or I might have to get someone to come over and help me film that, since it'll be a bit hard to move the camera around if I'm doing it on my own. But I'll try and do all that stuff as a video diary as much as I can. I'll put in still shots and animations, whatever I need to do. So hopefully it'll all work out. What I'm sort of hoping to do after Arcanicon, I'll be busy doing my Space Wolves because I'll be bulking those out for Arcanicon. I've only got a Tensicon as 850 points, so I'm going to add another 400 points to those for Arcanicon. After that's done, so at the end of January, I'll really kick this into full swing. I'm hoping to at least have some sort of weekly minor update, and probably major updates every 2 weeks, or at worst once a month. A major thing, so if I'm doing, say, moulding or something, I might save that for a major update. Or I might just do mini tutorials as we go along. So depending on how I'm feeling at the time, I might say if I'm doing moulding, I might just release a moulding video. As you can imagine, there's quite a bit of work in particularly doing video, because I've got to edit the video and all that sort of thing. So bear with me. If anyone's got anything they want me to do in particular, as long as it's within the context of the diary, I'm quite happy. So if people want to specifically see certain moulding or see ways of casting things, I'm hoping that I'll get into a bit of 2-part casting, which I haven't done before. I've only done flat back casting, so 1-part moulds. I'm thinking when I do these warrior bodies, they'll have to be 2-part moulds, so that could be interesting. It'll be something I'm learning, and that's the sort of stuff I really want to capture in the diaries, is things that I'm learning how to do, or processes that I'm refining that I've had to go at before. So a bit of luck, it's all going to turn out well. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to doing the next update.